Before we get into the picks, just to look back at the comments for my question in Week 6, guess the score of the Carolina Panthers at Seattle Seahawks game, and guess what? Out of the 4,177 views and 151 comments, not one person guessed the score of the game correct. One of you were 1 point off of the exact score, but you were still off. It's okay though, look for that same format of a question in later weeks. On featured games, straight up, I went 1-3. Against the spread, I went 1-3. And for over-under, I went 3-1. I seem to keep flip-flopping weeks. One week I do well, and then the next week I don't do as hot. But going 6-2 over-under in the last 2 weeks is pretty damn good, so we'll take it. I'm going to give you guys the question of the week early in this one. As of Week 6, who is the NFL's dark horse? I want that team's final record and your reasoning as to why they are your dark horse. When I say dark horse, I mean the team that no one sees making the playoffs but will. The team that stays in the middle of the pack for most of the season. These answers will have a variety of range. I'm only going to choose comments that have some reasoning behind it, so do your research. Now, let's get into the games. Our first game we will be looking at looks at the divisional matchup in the AFC East when the New York Jets go into New England to take on the Patriots. The Jets are coming into this game as the #1 ranked overall defense and the #1 offensive rushing unit. Those are some pretty hefty rankings for a team that has been severely underrated for most of the season. Now, the Patriots, on the other hand, have the #1 ranked overall offense in the league, and Tom Brady couldn't be playing any better if he wanted to. This is literally the juggernaut matchup that the NFL has been waiting for, yet no one can see that. How the hell are the Patriots favored by 10 points in this one? This is the #1 offense going against the #1 defense. Now, it's funny, because I could go either way with this game. I think the Patriots will win this game outright. I don't think the Jets' offensive pass attack can keep up with Brady, but you know how they say that defense wins championships? I think, and this is a first here for the season, that the Jets cover that 10-point spread. This game will keep the teams within a touchdown or less of one another, but no way New England wins by 10 points. Also, I want to say this game will go over, but just by a point. The Jets are holding opponents to 15.0 points a game. Let's see if the same thing can happen against Tom Brady. Our second game looks like a snooze fest, but it looks at another team that is vastly underrated, the Washington Redskins. Let's be straight here. The Redskins' defense is good in close games. Their defense can hang in there when their games come down to the line. In that last matchup versus the Jets, Kirk Cousins did not help the defense whatsoever, and it's killing their defensive unit. The Bucs are coming off of a bye week, which is good for them, but I think with this game being in Washington and the Redskins coming off a tough loss, Kirk Cousins proves to the Redskins fan base that starting him over RG3 was a good choice. Take the Redskins -3.5, and let's take the over 43. I think 43 points is just too low for this game when the Bucs have proven to score on offense and have given up a lot of points on defense. That NFC East is still broken wide open. Now, there isn't much that I can say about this last matchup between the Bills and the Jaguars. It is in London, which throws home field advantage out the window. The Bills and Jaguars are both coming off of home losses, but in this matchup, it comes down to who has more weapons. That team would be the Bills. The Bills have everything they would need in a good running back and an accurate QB and an amazing breakout wide receiver. Now that wide receiver might be hurt, but Rex Ryan will find a way to win this one no matter what. So let's take the 4 points and also take the over 42 as both teams will score points. I just think the Bills will score more points than the Jaguars. I like to consider the Bills as my dark horse. I expect them to do really good late in the season, prompting a playoff berth that no one will see coming. I see them ending with a record of 10-6, splitting the series with the Jets and Patriots, and beating 2/3 of the NFC East. I just see them flipping the NFL upside down in their next 10 games. Let's jump right into the fan favorites. First things first, you can see my record for the lock and upset of the week under my icon in the top right corner. For my lock of the week, I'm taking the rejuvenated Miami Dolphins over the Houston Texans. The Dolphins got on the right track after changing head coaches coming out of their bye week, and look for their success to continue as they stay in their comfort zone at home. I like what this Dolphins team is doing right now. Overall, they look like the team we expected to see at the beginning of the season. For my upset pick of the week, I'm feeling the Lions to upset the Vikings. It kills me to pick against a team that I picked as my lock of the week in week 6. I think the Lions can pull off 2 in a row, especially at home. Look for Matt Stafford to put up big numbers and find a way to win. I guess that's all that matters in the end these days, is finding a way to win. Last week in the Fantasy Football League, I ended up being Poetic Kings. After an 0-2 start, I'm now back to 500 at 3-3. My trade acquisitions and waiver wire pickups have really come through for me the past few weeks. Now, in week 7, I take on the undefeated Meares. I'm really hoping I can beat this 6-0 team and get over that 500 mark for the first time this season. A quick update for my ESPN Eliminator Challenge. John Harrington 78 is still the man. He is going to lose one of these weeks, and we will be waiting for him, but in week 6, he picked the Patriots, and they won by a 7-point differential. If you like this video and want more like it, then be sure to smash that like button and hit that subscribe button. Be on the lookout for the Halloween special next week, as I have something big planned. See you guys in week 8.